Hey everyone, Arjun here, back with another video. And it's been so long since I posted a new video on YouTube because I was so busy at the moment doing Amazon Web Services kind of thing, known as AWS, because in that service there's a lot of cloud services available in that portal. So, uh, since right now I'm running on summer vacation, so I'm here with my Wii U here. So as you guys can see here, it's still working because it's been so long since I turn it on again. So it's doesn't seem to be like it's gonna brick anymore. So I'm so happy to see this thing is working again. But still, there's a bit of a problem with this analog sticks right here. Earlier, I did mention that there's a bit of a problem like stick drift or something like that. Let me just show you. Let me get the camera a little bit closer. Alright, so there you have my gamepad close to the camera. So let me go ahead and show you what kind of problem do I have with this. Let me go ahead and pull out the stylus. Alright, so this homebrew software is able to monitor what kind of controls are being activated. So as you can see, when I pull this analog stick to downside, so you can see there's a bit of a delay to return to its central position. So I hope you guys can see there's a bit of a delay with it. Yeah, there you go. You can see it definitely has a bit of a delay there. So that means the y-axis analog stick, the y-axis potentiometer is faulty. So the thing is, the only thing I can do is replace both of these analog sticks. And also there's a bit of a problem with this one as well. So what happens is, when I'm playing Splatoon, I notice that the camera is moving by itself without any kind of motion on this analog stick. So there might be a problem with this analog stick as well. So in the upcoming video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace both of these analog sticks right now. Alright, anyways, let's go back to home menu. So press the home again, it returns to the Mi Maker. From here I can just close out to get back to the Wii U menu. And there's a bit of a noise in the background, and that is a window air conditioner which is running behind the camera. So I apologize for that noise, but still I can edit this thing in video editing software when I get the newer video editing software to neutralize this kind of background noise. Alright, so anyways, let me go ahead and let's dig into the video. Alright, so this video is about Nintendo Switch this time, because with this Nintendo Switch I have a bit of a problem. Let me just tell you what kind of problem do I have with this one as well. So with the Wii U I have stick drift problem, and with the Nintendo Switch I don't have anything like stick drift problem or something. The thing is, this Joy-Con just slides off without pressing off that unlock button, as you guys can see. So this is the problem which I've been facing often when I'm playing on the handheld mode. So when I check the internet, one of the website mentioned that there's a latch that holds this Joy-Con into place. So that latch is made out of plastic. So um, there's a there's a three ways that this latch can go bad. The thing is, sometimes the Nintendo Switch might drop into the ground like this. All right, so it will hit the Joy-Con right here. What happens is it will make the Joy-Con to slide out by force. So that kind of force can make this latch to rip off its plastic. So definitely there's a problem with this one. So I'm gonna take this thing apart, and I also bought a replacement metal latches for both of these analog sticks. But the thing is, I'm not gonna replace the other one. The other one seems to be working fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this other one's latch in place as long as it works. When this one goes bad, and then I'm going to replace this one as well in the future. So let me go ahead and get this Joy-Con latch replaced. Alright, so before I get started, I want to show you the parts which I bought for this repair. First of all, you need some tools over here. You will need spudgers and some prying tools. I won't suggest you to use metal to pry out the plastic casing of the Joy-Con. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this tool right here. Let me get it out. Yeah, there we go. So we're gonna use this kind of plastic prying tool for this kind of electronics, because most of these electronics have plastic casing. So when you pry with the metal, what happens is it's gonna scratch up the edges. It's gonna scratch up the edges of the plastic of the Joy-Con. So in order to perform this repair in a optimized way without scratching up the edges of the plastic, we need to use this kind of thing, because the metal is very strong. So the hardness of the metal can lead to the scratches of the plastic. If you use the plastic tool as a prying tool, what happens is the plastic cannot scratch the other plastic. So that's advantage over here. So let me go ahead and take this thing apart and get that part replaced. So with this repair kit, I got two analog sticks right here for the left and right Joy-Cons, but I'm not going to use this since these analog sticks are working great for now. I'm not gonna use this right now. In this small plastic bag, I have two analog stick caps and the metal latches over here. I'm gonna get this thing out later. Let me get it out right now itself. Come on. There we go. We also got an extra screws for this one, but we don't need these anymore, since we already have a existing screws inside of this Joy-Con right here. So this is the one which I want to replace. So I think this this thing is not for this left Joy-Con. So I'm gonna get the other one out. So the other one is hopefully the left Joy-Con latch. Come on. There we go. Go ahead and put this thing back in and put this one back as well. Alright, so go ahead and tilt the camera just a little bit over there, so whenever you guys can see me. So there you have it. So this is the one we have to replace right now. This thing is, you guys can see, this thing is definitely pretty much harder than the other ones inside the Joy-Con, since this thing is alloy material. So it's hopefully it's gonna last long enough. So let me go ahead and start getting this screws out and take the back plastic off. So we also get the screwdrivers right here. The good thing, they also included some screwdrivers over here. So I think one of them is Phillips and the other one is Tri-Wing. And we also have the tweezers over here. So I don't think we need the tweezers anymore. So if it's needed, I'm gonna use it. So I'm gonna keep it aside just in case if we need it. So let me go ahead and put everything back in. There we go. So this is a Tri-Wing screwdriver. So the screws right here are Tri-Wing. So let me go ahead and tilt the camera just a little bit so in that way you guys can see me. There you go. Alright, so let's start off with this one. But do make sure you do not twist the screw way more harder. Just twist it hard enough to get this thing open. Do make sure you do not strip the screw a lot. Okay, there we go. Screw has started turning. So one screw is hopefully out. So we go ahead and place this thing over here. Let me go ahead and take another one. The other one. Oh, sorry about that. Hopefully the screw is not stripped. Do be careful. We have to be very careful with these screws because these screws can go bad if we twist it a lot. So what you have to do is you have to be so gentle with these kind of small screws, okay, because these screws can strip off very easily. Once these screws are stripped, you cannot be able to take this thing apart, okay, so be aware of that. Go ahead and take this last one. Okay, so it started to come apart as you guys can see. Take this one off. All right, so now I think we can lift up the plastic, but we have to be careful with this since okay, so now start off from here. So from here you have to pry up just a little bit. Do be careful if there's any ribbon cable around it. Do be careful, do not run your prying tool around it, okay. So okay, so I have to be careful. I'm trying not to break it because I have to be careful. Always remember, patience is the key. If you have a lot of patience, then you'll be there. We go. There we go. All right, it's starting to come apart. Now it's time for me to go all around it. Oh, all right, there we go. It started to come apart. You can hear all those latches coming apart. All right, so we have to be careful because there's a ribbon cable attached to this thing right here. So we have to be careful. Do not pry it open entirely because you can strip off that ribbon cable. All right, there we go. Do be careful, do not lift it all the way because there's a ribbon cable attached to it. Do be careful. Being patient will always lead to good path, okay. So there's a vibration motor attached to this controller. Let me go ahead and try to disconnect that. if I need to get this ribbon cables apart, I have to take a part of a battery. So I don't want to take the battery apart. I have to do be careful with it. Do not make it so worse. I have to look for an optimal solution for this one. Let me go ahead and get the tweezers. So as I expected, we do need tweezers to get this thing apart. Okay. There we go. Now the vibration motor is out of the way. I think we can able to disconnect the battery. Let me go ahead and disconnect that. I apologize since you guys cannot see the entire architecture of this connections right here. So I need a microscopic camera in order to show everything right here. But right now I don't have the microscopic camera with me right now, so I apologize for that. But still, I'm trying as much as I can to show everything to you guys. I think we need to, let me use my spudger in order to lift up that ribbon cable latch. Okay, there we go. It's out. So I need a Phillips head screw right now. Before that, let me go ahead and take this thing apart. This is so hard. I know it's hard, but maintaining a bit of a patience will lead to the good path. Always remember that. Okay, this battery is adhered down to the plastic, so I don't recommend you to remove that entirely because this thing is adhered down. So if you use the metal prying tool in order to lift up the battery, this battery can start off on fire pretty easily. So this is a lithium ion battery, so lithium ion batteries can start off on fire way more easy. Okay, so do be careful. Do not use metal in order to pry up the battery. Okay. Do be careful with these because these can rip off pretty easily, so do not pry out from the cables. Use the plastic part in order to pry it up. I'm trying my best, but this thing is not coming apart, so I think I gotta have to use the tweezers maybe. Okay, focus, Archie. You can do this. Okay. Okay, this thing is getting way more longer, so I'm not gonna wait through this. So I'm gonna skip this part and get this battery connector disconnected. Okay, I just went into the iFixit website and then the guy tells me that I gotta have to use my spudger to gently pry up the battery. So I'm gonna pry up the battery connector gently. but do not rip off that wires. Just gently pry it up. Oh, okay, there we go. We got the battery disconnected. Oh my god, this thing has took way more longer. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, let me go ahead and use the Phillips screwdriver to remove this plastic part right here, maybe. Okay, so now the battery is disconnected, so I also remove the screw of that plastic. So I think this is gonna lift up. Use the spudger, maybe. So this will come apart, maybe. Okay, I think I'm getting somewhere. This is very tough. Be careful with that ribbon cable. Do not rip it off. Just give me a second, guys. I'm trying to figure it out how to get this thing apart. So let me go to the iFixit website one more time. Alright, so I went into the iFixit website and I found that there's a screws holding this entire plastic into place. In order to get to that screws, I have to remove the battery. So I'm not going to do that right now. Let's proceed with replacing that latch with the ribbon cable inside. Yeah. So to get, let me go ahead and use my Phillips screwdriver to. Oh, hold on. Oh, this is a traveling screwdriver. Such a bummer. Okay, gently twist it. Okay, okay, it's coming apart. Okay, there we go. I got the screw out. Okay, now I have to get this metal piece right here. Sorry about that. I have to get this that you can see that little metal piece right here, so I have to get this thing apart. So let me go ahead and do that next. So be so gentle, do not pry it up. So this is definitely tough. So it's definitely tough. Pry it up from one side, pry it up on the other side. Then it comes apart just a little bit, and then just pull it off just like that. But don't pull it so hard so it can rip off the metal piece, because this metal is flexible and it can be broken so easily. Be very gentle. Ow! Alright, so luckily I did not rip it off. Get this thing out. Oh my god. Okay. So this metal piece is out. I hope if I bend it down just a little bit, we'll go back to its default position maybe. Okay. Hold on. Alright, so I replied the message. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this thing apart right now. But do be careful, there's a spring intact. So I have to be careful. A lot more careful this time, because the spring is so easy to be lost. Okay. Okay, so while holding this, I have to use my screwdriver to prevent that spring flying off. this thing is way harder. So I need a special equipment in order to hold this thing, but since I don't have that special equipment, so let's go ahead and face this challenge more often. So this metal piece is fine as far as I can tell, so I have to be careful while removing this, so this can break off very easily. Okay, so the screwdriver is not very sharp enough, so I'm gonna pry this thing. Wow, pry this thing, and I'm gonna hold that spring with my tweezers. There we go. I got a bite on that spring, so now it's time for me to remove it. So it's almost out. It's almost out. Whatsoever, it's not coming out. This thing is way more harder. So this thing is getting way more longer. So I'm gonna fast forward from here, so in that way I can get this thing apart in front of you guys. Alright, so I just found out that this plastic piece is holding this entire assembly into place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna undo this. I'm gonna remove these two screws right here. So in order to get this charging rail apart from the plastic, okay, this is the one. I think it's ready to come apart right now. Okay, there we go, it's loose. Okay, so I have to undo these two screws as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo that real quick. Be careful. Sorry about that. I just lost this little sync button right here, so I found it on the ground. So let me go ahead and save this, keep this thing safe. It's just a sound of my chair, so ignore that. Okay, so here we have buttons here, the shoulder buttons of Joy-Con rail. So I think this part has just come off. Alright, so there we go, we got the rail apart. So now let me go ahead and get this thing apart right now. So now it's pretty easy to open it. Use my tweezers, be careful with this. There we go. Oh, finally! I'm finally able to, oh, don't just roll off. Okay. I'm finally able to get this latch apart. So let me see the condition of this one. This thing is ripped off entirely. You guys can see there's a bit of a broken trace over here. I think you guys can see it. Let me show you. So I hope you guys can see it. So it's ripped off entirely. So this piece will no longer be working. So this one can be a piece of trash from now on, so sometimes it might be useful in some situations. So we go and put this thing aside, and now let's do the real part. So let's go ahead and replace that latch with this one, this metal one. So where's the spring? Okay, there we go. Place the spring over here, and then I'm gonna use my tweezers to hold it into place. Oh, it's almost so close. I almost lost the spring. Let me go ahead and I'll apply a bit of attention to the spring later. But first, let me go ahead and slide this thing in right here. Yeah, it slides off this just like this. There we go. It's into its place. Let me go ahead and apply a bit of attention on that spring. So when that will go in. Okay, there we go. So now this latch is installed into this rail right now. So now let me go ahead and get this thing put back together. I guess I'm going to. Okay, so I have to get the sync button in it, but first let me go ahead and get this rail installed back into its place, and then I'm going to work on with the sync button. There we go. Okay, that's it. It's into its case right now. So let me go ahead and put that sync button wherever it is. There we go. Maybe like this, or like this. Yeah, I think hopefully like that. Okay, just hang on. I'll be right back. Alright everyone, I'm back. So, alright, so let me go ahead and put this rest of it back together. I think this is SR button. So R is gonna go right here. Okay, let me go ahead and put the screw for this one. Alright, so here we go. So let's put this button back in to its casing here. So I think it's hopefully here. Let me go and check that other Joy-Con. So if the buttons are arranged like this, so hopefully. Alright, so each button has its own pattern to go into its place. So let me go ahead and put this SR button back into its place. Okay, it's in. Go ahead and put the sync button back together. Okay, there we go. Now it's time for SL. There we go. It's back into its case. So right now, what I gotta do is, I think I have to install the screw here. It's kind of so hopefully I have all the screws on my desk here. Uh-oh. Alright, no problem. Mistakes do happen. So I'm doing this for the first time, so I never ever fixed this kind of electronics by myself. I did try to fix a laptop long time ago off camera, so that was pretty easy, but this kind of electronics is quite challenging. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna use my tweezers to get this thing into its place. I'm gonna hold the screw with my tweezers, just like this. Oh. Okay. Just give it a shot, Arjun. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Alright, there we go. Now let's get this thing back into its place. Okay, so I guess the rail is back into the position. So let's go ahead and put this thing back together. now. These buttons kind of fall off from its position. So that's kind of annoying. Here we go. Just give me a second, guys. Okay, there we go. I gave a reply to that message. Now it's time for me to get back to work and get this thing back together. Not again. This is quite hard. Oh, it's magnetic. Okay. Good thing I have magnetic screwdriver over here. I was thinking this is non-magnetic. Okay. Let me put this board into a precise position. And then I'm gonna run the screwdriver in it. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Let's put the other one. Be careful. Okay, the other one is also back in. So now I guess I need to install that metal piece back into its place. Trying to get this metal piece back into its place. Let me go ahead and tilt the camera just a little bit so that way you guys can see me pretty easily. Okay, now it's time for me to put that screw in. Okay, so I may have installed the wrong screw. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's it. I guess that's pretty much it. So let me go ahead and put the not the battery. Let me go ahead and put this this charging connector back into its place. So I'm gonna bend this thing just a little bit so that will be easy for me to put it back into that connector. There we go. Okay, so I have to lift up this latch here, and then that ribbon cable would simply slide in. Okay, so I think we're good at this point. So let me go ahead and put the battery connector back into its place. There we go. I'm gonna use my spudger to push it down, and that's it. I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, hold on. I think we have to screw the battery back into its place. Okay, I guess that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and put this case and also that little vibration motor connector into that plug. It's pretty hard to do it right now. Sliding. Okay, so this is kind of difficult, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna try my best to get this thing back together. Since the latch is replaced now, so we're good at that point. This vibration motor connector is kind of annoying because it doesn't because due to its tension I'm not able to get it back into its place. There we go. I think I'm able to get that thing connected to that plug. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No pressure. Be so gentle. Okay, there we go. It's almost in. We got push it in. I think that's it. So let me go ahead and put this thing back together now. Hopefully that's all it needs. Okay, so I think it looks good so far. Okay, it's time for me to put all that driving screws back together now. Oh, this is not magnetic, maybe? Oh, this is not magnetic. So I have to be careful. There we go. So do not do it super tight because those screws can strip off pretty easily. Oh. It's way more difficult than expected. Look, that's a funny sound of that screwdriver. Hold on, man. I'll be right there. Last one screw. Okay, good so far. Okay, the controller is working. So let me go ahead and connect this thing to the Nintendo Switch. But before that, let me go ahead and reply to all those messages that I received. After replying all those messages, I'll be right back and then test it out in front of you guys. Alright, so I gave reply to all those messages that I received. Now it's time for me to test this Joy-Con. Let me put all these tools and everything into the box. Okay. Whoa. Okay, good so far. So let me go ahead and get my Nintendo Switch here. Let me go ahead and attach this red Joy-Con to this one. Okay, so that latch is still working, so you heard that click over there. So now it's time for this Joy-Con right here. Okay, so moment of truth. There we go. Okay, it's not sliding off this console anymore right now. All right, so the repair was a success. The repair was a huge success. So we go ahead and log in. Okay, there you have all my games. So let me go ahead and see if the repair was a success with this Joy-Con. Okay, so every button is working so far. So let me go ahead and test the control stick. Maybe that will work. Okay, good so far. So this repair was a huge success. Alright, so before I end this video, let me go ahead and install this little analog stick caps for the Nintendo Switch. So I got two of these in the repair kit, so let me go ahead and install these real quick. I think this one goes here. That might be good enough, maybe. Alright. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go, guys. Now both of these analog stick caps are installed right now. So as good as new, and this unlocks, this Joy-Con doesn't fall off anymore. So that's pretty stable right now. It stays on there until I press this button. It won't let the Joy-Con to slide out. It's pretty stable. Alright, so that's it with this video. I hope you guys have learned how to replace this latch of this Joy-Con right here, and there's also other plastic latches available on eBay and Amazon as well. You can replace this latch with the plastic one again if you want, but metal one might be convenient, but there's a bit of a disadvantage. For sure, this Joy-Con is fixed and fully working, but when you drop it, what happens is the uh, Joy-Con will be in place right here, but the that drop impact is going to be taken by this Joy-Con rail right here. So when you drop your console with the metal Joy-Con latch, what happens is the whole damage is going to be taken by this little rail right here. So what happens is one of the screw might be broken, or screw hole might be broken, or this whole rail might be come off apart. So in that case, you guys do have to be way more careful this time. Hopefully I'll be more careful. The What happened is I was cleaning my workspace at the moment. I accidentally pushed this Nintendo Switch away from the desk, and then what happened, it just dropped like this, hitting this side right here. So what happened is the Joy-Con popped out, and the Joy-Con latch also pretty much scratched up. So there's no way I can get that old latch up and running. In order to get that one up and running, what I gotta have to do is I have to apply a UV glue and sand it just excess glue that was been solid on the latch. So anyways, since this thing is working right now and it doesn't fall off, so I'm pretty impressed with it. So, and I do have to be careful next time, because this one this right Joy-Con it still has a plastic on it. If the console drops like this, and this one is also gonna scratch up, so I have to be more careful next time. And also, you guys also do be careful with this Nintendo Switches. I know there might be way more disadvantages with the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, because the latches are not made out of metal, they're made out of plastic, and the Nintendo is still selling these Nintendo Switches with the plastic latches still. But I would expect Nintendo to sell this console with the metal latches, but these metal latches are separately made by other companies. So what I just done is this Nintendo Switch was out of warranty. So what I just done is I just ordered a replacement parts for this. But the thing is, I only just ordered a latches for this. I did not order the entire set. They also sent me a pair of two analog sticks. If these analog sticks go bad, then I can just replace these analog sticks with the new ones if I want. But so far, this Nintendo Switch is seem to be working right now. So I think this latch is no longer gonna let the Joy-Con to come out from this rail. So yeah, that's it. So in the next upcoming video, I'm gonna show you how can you replace this gamepad analog stick modules. So in that way, you guys can get rid of that stick drift problem from the gamepad. I saw a lot of people were facing the same issue with these analog sticks, because these analog sticks are made by same companies such as Xbox and Sony used to prefer for. The same modules are right here. So whatever analog stick modules that the PS5 and latest Xbox consoles uses, so those same analog stick modules are soldered right here. So what I'm gonna do is since this gamepad has a separate circuit board connected to the main motherboard, with this analog stick modules right here. So what I can just do is I can just pull out this little analog stick circuit board and then replace it with the new circuit board. But I also have to use this old caps right here because the caps are nowhere to be found right now. So far I'm pretty much impressed with the Wii U because Nintendo did offer a lots of repairability and replaceability in the Wii U gamepad and also on the Wii U console. So I'm pretty much impressed with the Wii U. So anyways, enough with everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, hit that like button down below and also share this video to everyone, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications bell, so in that way you guys don't miss any new video updates from my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later in the next one.